In 1917, Pascual Piñon toured the US as the two-headed Mexican, but the second head was actually a wax mold covering a large tumor, a strange showbiz trick of the time. In 1896, humanity revived an ancient dream. The Olympic Games returned in Athens. This image captures the opening ceremony that launched a new era, uniting nations through sport and peace. During World War II, the so-called sand pounders patrolled US beaches on horseback, scanning for enemy threats. They were silent sentinels on the sand, watching, waiting, protecting the shore. In 1918, deep in the Argonne Forest, US troops rode FT-17 tanks through the mud and silence. It was the machine's march into chaos, a new era of warfare born among trees and trenches. In December 1941, just days after Pearl Harbor, Ruth Lee displayed a Chinese flag on her days off. It was her quiet shield, when even a face could turn into a risk in wartime America. In the 1920s, Buster Keaton played with a strange invention that looks like a modern Segway. Always ahead of his time, he turned even the oddest contraptions into comedy gold on wheels. In 1951, this unlikely moment made people smile. An ostrich calmly reading its caretaker's newspaper. In a world without internet, even animals seemed curious about the day's headlines. In 1916, this boy wore his father's uniform while the world was at war. It was play and longing at once, a quiet image of childhood shaped by absence. In 1936, Robert Huddleston earned the name Pony Boy. Despite living with genu recurvatum, a rare knee condition, he became a symbol of strength and resilience during the Great Depression. In 1912, athletes were already competing in the 50-meter pistol event at the Stockholm Games, 112 years before Yusuf Dikec made his mark. Precision, it seems, is a legacy that spans generations. In 1902, Dr. Doyen performed a risky surgery to separate conjoined twins, Doudika and Radhika. Doudika had tuberculosis, endangering them both. Radhika survived, a rare success in early medical history. In 1953, the Oscars were televised for the first time. This behind-the-scenes photo captures that historic moment when Hollywood first stepped into living rooms around the world, live and in real time. In the 1940s, Albert Speer stood beside Hitler at the Berghof. Sentenced to 20 years, his story remains controversial, marked by the book Inside the Third Reich, a complex chapter of world history. In 1944, Matthaus Hetzenauer stood out as one of Austria's most effective snipers, with 345 confirmed kills. A notable figure in the military history of World War II. In the 1930s, diamond mine workers regularly underwent X-rays to monitor their health, an early effort to protect against the invisible dangers of mining. In 1999, during the Kargil War, Indian soldiers respectfully buried Pakistani soldiers according to Islamic rituals, even after Pakistan refused the bodies. A moment of humanity amid conflict. Mignon was born with phocomelia, flipper-like hands, and shortened limbs that gave her a unique waddle. She turned her differences into strength, winning many hearts along the way. In 1904, women's boxing was showcased as a demonstration sport in St. Louis, decades before its official Olympic debut in 2012. a pioneering display of female strength in the ring. The ship's success displayed penal transportation relics in Australia, although it was never actually used as a transport ship. A curious piece of 19th century maritime and penal history. In 1915, ticker tape operators worked diligently at the New York Stock Exchange, transmitting vital real-time information to keep the financial market moving. In 1932, Johnny Eck defied all labels. Born without the lower half of his body, he became a movie star, painter, and photographer. With talent and charm, he proved that limits are just a matter of perspective. In 1908, Dorando Pietri staggered across the London Marathon finish line first, but after receiving help in the final steps, he was disqualified. He didn't win the medal, only history's applause. In 1890, the former prison ship Success became a floating museum. On board stood the Wooden Maiden, a grim reminder of the harsh punishments once dealt at sea. In 1919, two legends met. Charlie Chaplin, silent film genius, and Helen Keller, who overcame deafness and blindness to inspire the world. A moment where brilliance and resilience shook hands. In 1936, Zen monks at Tokyo's Asakusa Temple wore gas masks during air raid drills, a striking blend of peace and preparation as the world edged closer to war. In 1895, deep in Oklahoma, a sod schoolhouse stood strong. Built from earth, it sheltered lessons and hope, a testament to frontier grit and the will to learn, no matter the setting. In 1943, as the world faced uncertainty, boxing arenas drew roaring crowds. For a few hours, punches and cheers drowned out the echoes of a world at war. In 1938, children smiled in front of the world's largest log cabin in Portland. Built for a 1905 expo, it stood as a rustic marvel until it was lost to fire in 1964. In 1865, Isaac Sprague, known as the Living Skeleton, amazed many by leading a normal life despite weighing only 43 pounds. A rare story of strength beyond looks. In 1908, a Danish gymnast captivated the crowd with a flawless dismount on the pommel horse, showcasing the strength and grace that defined gymnastics of the time. In 1910, Johann John Lem ruled the ring with strength and skill. A heavyweight who never skipped leg day, his presence was a true display of power and endurance in wrestling. In this timeless photo, two boys and their dog prove that true friendship needs no words, just moments of pure joy and companionship. On August 22, 1944, in Lisieux, a French woman poured cider for a British soldier. A simple act that brought humanity and hope as the occupation was ending. In 1942, Reinhard Heydrich's car became a notable part of history during a turbulent time in World War II, symbolizing significant events of that era. In 1878, Dodge City became a key hub for buffalo hide trade, with 40,000 hides driving the economy and reshaping the American frontier. In 1910, Paris's Grand Palais hosted the Motor Show, showcasing innovations that were starting to transform mobility and urban life in the modern era. In 1946, Albert Einstein broke barriers by visiting Lincoln University, the first degree-granting black college in the US, to teach. A powerful act of courage and commitment to equality and knowledge. In the 1860s, Juan Baptista dos Santos stood out for his unique condition. Known as the man with two swords, he lived proving that uniqueness is part of history's fabric. In 1912, at the Stockholm Olympics, Axel Nordlander shined by winning 2 gold medals in the debut of equestrian events, making his mark in sports history. In 1914, the Royal Enfield 770cc with sidecar was outfitted with a Vickers machine gun and 1,000 rounds, showcasing military innovation that reshaped battles in World War I. In 1950, the Leih shock weapon went on sale in Germany, where civilians were not allowed to carry firearms, a new approach aiming for safety without bullets.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to support our work. I separated 2 videos for you to continue diving into the story. See you in the next video.